So I've always struggled with alcohol. I started drinking really, really bad at like 15, even though it was only on the weekends with friends. I mean, we were drinking bottles of vodka. I had gotten alcohol poisoning probably 2 or 3 times just from 15, 16, being 15, 16, 17 years old. But then when I started working and making my own money, living on my own, I was drinking, but I was supporting myself, so I didn't have a problem. That was my mentality. Well, then I started using meth back in 2020 when COVID hit. A friend had turned me onto it. He actually told me it was cocaine. I dabbled here and there with Coke. So anyway, so we went to get it and he was like, oh, well, just try some. It's Coke. No, well, it changed my life. Then I started actually selling, which led to money. And then I started smoking crack. Crack was the main downfall of my addiction because, I mean, crack will take everything from you. Drugs do anyway, but crack is a whole nother level. And I got a taste of the lifestyle, a taste of being up for days and getting so much accomplished and things like that. I mean, yeah, I fell in love. Right before I came to the well, I was actually on the run. I was paranoid. I didn't go outside. If I did, I was like literally hiding in the back seat of someone's car, like if we went to the gas station or something. And so I was living with a friend, didn't have my own place anymore. Before that, I was bouncing couch to couch. I was even staying in like people's homes that didn't even have electricity. And I just thought that was cool. Like I thought that was a cool thing to do. My kids, they didn't want anything to do with me, especially my son. I only started to see him when I started getting visits here. He hadn't seen me for probably a year before that, before last fall. And so that was depressing. I was just in this dark spiral of wanting more, but didn't know how to get it, never achieving anything. Like, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go get a job. That, like, for some reason, it would always be a reason as to why I couldn't do that. My family didn't want anything to do with me. Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. It wasn't fun. There was no hope. There was no light. I wanted different, but I also didn't have the willingness to do different. So I was an adrenaline junkie that came with the lifestyle, but I didn't want to go to prison either. So it contradicted itself. I'm like, oh, I want to do this, but I'm not going to go to prison. So yeah, it was bad. I was on the run. Someone called the cops on me and the cops came and raided the house that I was at. They searched for me 45 minutes and they finally found me. But I was sitting in there on my third distribution charge, and at that time it was like a pretrial violation. I was looking at a probation violation. I mean, I was looking at 7 years in prison. I never thought, one, I would be not drinking just to like cope with a long day or something like that. I never once in my life would think that I would never just not drink. And also then when you get drugs involved, like once you're in that downward spiral, it's really, really hard to see a light at the end of the tunnel. I was at that place. Like I just really thought that there was nothing like better than this. Like I knew that there was better, but I didn't know how to get it. And so I'm super proud of myself because now I know how to get it. I know that it just takes one day at a time. And I just have self-confidence now in the fact that I know I can do this. I know I can go out in the world and be okay. So that's something that I never thought. Looking back a year ago, I never would have thought that.